Anyone can be calm when life is quiet, when no one's challenging you, when nothing's going wrong. But that's not real calm. That's convenience. The real test? How do you respond when life punches you in the mouth? When you get disrespected, blindsided, embarrassed, misunderstood? Do you still move with control, or do you collapse into chaos? Because make no mistake, you will be tested. They'll provoke you to see if you'll break. They'll disrespect you just to watch how loud you get. They'll question you just to see if you question yourself. And if you haven't trained, if your emotions run wild and raw, you'll fall right into their trap. You'll lash out. You'll explain too much. You'll beg for clarity, fairness, closure, but not the warrior. The warrior doesn't react. He commands. Calm isn't passivity, it's precision. It's the ability to stand inside the fire and not flinch. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. They didn't meditate so they could feel good. They trained to be still while under attack. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, plague, and still wrote about inner peace. Because peace isn't found in comfort. It's forged in conflict. And if you want to live unbothered, not because the world is kind, but because you are anchored, then emotional control isn't optional. It's a requirement. Most people don't lose control because of massive disasters. They lose it from tiny triggers. A delay, a rude message, a tone they didn't like, a plan that didn't go their way. And in that moment, their face changes, their breathing shifts, their thoughts spiral. One comment, and their whole identity starts to shake. Why? Because they never trained. They were taught to feel everything, but not how to filter anything. So their nervous system becomes a puppet for the external world. Every mood, every voice, every headline. They're not living, they're reacting through life, on edge, on alert, on autopilot. But the Stoic warrior doesn't live like that. He doesn't see every problem as an emergency. He doesn't enter every room looking to defend himself. He doesn't lose sleep over things he can't control, because he's too busy mastering what he can. You insult him? He breathes. You doubt him? He nods. You lie to him? He watches. Because he's not here to win arguments. He's here to win command over himself. That's emotional control. Not suppression, but strategic restraint. Not to impress others, but to preserve your own power. Because if every fool can trigger you, then every fool owns you. But when your calm can't be shaken, that's when you become dangerous. Not loud, not explosive, just unshakably still. And that kind of stillness, it's not found, it's built. So how do you build unshakable calm? You start small, not with perfection, with presence. You don't try to stay chill when everything's falling apart. You practice micro-control when things are quiet. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You breathe. Someone talks over you in a meeting. You pause. Someone tries to bait you into drama. You hold the line. Each moment, a rep. Each silence, a win. Each breath, a layer in the armor. Because emotional control is not a switch. It's a muscle. And most people have never trained it, so they confuse volume with power. But the real ones? They move low, sharp, calm, and in charge. That's why we do this. Not to look peaceful, to become immovable. And if this message hits something deep inside you, if you're tired of being hijacked by every little stressor, if you're done watching your peace get stolen by people who don't even deserve your time, then don't just watch this and scroll away. Subscribe, not for more content, for more command. Because around here, we don't just listen, we train. We build a mind that doesn't need outside permission to be still. We build a presence that speaks without raising its voice. So if you're ready to move like that, you're in the right place. You don't become calm by wanting to be calm. You become calm by training your nervous system to obey your principles, not your emotions. Here's how warriors do it, the Stoic way. 1. Morning stillness before movement. Before you check your phone, before the noise begins, sit with yourself. 2 minutes. Just breathe and observe. This isn't meditation. This is command practice. You're not reacting. You're establishing control from minute 1. 2. Pre-plan your responses. Most emotional breakdowns happen because you weren't prepared for confrontation. You expected peace. The Stoic expects tests. So ask yourself, if I'm interrupted today, insulted today, delayed today, how will I respond? You don't leave your emotional state to chance. You program it in advance. 3. One daily act of deliberate restraint. Pick one moment. Hold your tongue when you want to correct someone. Hold your phone when you want to react. Hold your face when someone tries to get under your skin. That one restraint is not a loss. It's a rep in the gym of composure. 4. End your day with audit, not escape. Most people numb out, scrolling, eating, binging, avoiding. But warriors reflect. Ask, where did I lose composure today? What triggered it? How can I catch it earlier next time? This isn't guilt, it's data. And data turns into strategy. Because calm isn't an emotion you wait for, it's a skill you build. And the more you practice, the more untouchable you become. Not just calm on the outside, calm in your bones. Eventually, calm stops being something you try to remember, and starts being something you naturally are. You walk into a room, you don't need to assert yourself, you don't talk over anyone, you don't explain yourself too quickly. But somehow, people listen when you speak. Why? Because you've stopped moving from anxiety. You've started moving from alignment. Your eye contact is steady, your voice is grounded, your decisions are clean. Because you're not just trying to stay chill, you've become the kind of person who doesn't break under pressure. That's what Stoic calm really is. Power under control, stillness without apathy, presence without performance. And people feel it. They feel it in the way you don't rush to fill silence, in the way you don't get pulled into gossip or noise, in the way you handle disrespect, not with retaliation, but with restraint that hits twice as hard. You become a presence, not because you're loud, but because you're centered. You stop letting other people's storms dictate your weather. You stop letting urgency override your timing. You stop letting triggers rewrite your tone. Now you operate on a different frequency, one that doesn't need defending, because real warriors don't seek peace, they carry it, and wherever they go, it sets the tone. Now you understand. Calm isn't a trait you're born with, it's a discipline you build when no one's watching. You don't find it in silence, you find it in resistance, in the middle of the noise, in the tension, in the split-second moment when your body wants to react, and you don't, because you've trained, not once, not when it's convenient, but daily, deliberately, like a warrior sharpens his sword even when there's no battle, because he knows one is coming. You're no longer looking for peace outside, you're cultivating it inside, brick by brick, pause by pause, breath by breath, and every time you choose stillness over ego, presence over panic, composure over chaos, you win. Not against them. Against the part of you that used to give your power away so easily. You've stepped into a different kind of strength now. One that doesn't need noise. One that doesn't need to be understood. One that just moves like it knows. So now, answer this. What would your life look like if nothing could pull you off center without your permission anymore?